So now, how do we make the best out of a bad situation? I cannot do research in any other language but French or English, and maybe some German, some Spanish. So because that is how I was brought up. Even my own African language, I'm not speaking it well. I understand it perfectly, but I do not speak it well. And now that I've been away from it, I barely use it. I even forget everything. I can still understand everything, but cannot communicate or do anything with it. But just only go there and they speak to me in my language, but I will answer to them in French. So how do I now accept that as part of me? Like you struggle, you say, how do I accept that as part of me and do the best, make the best of it? Still do some genuine African research using that foreign language that I know, because it's the only thing I know. Until Africans decide now to develop a universal African language, the Swahili is proposed to be an African language because many countries speak it and it's very easy. So people, Pan-African, have started suggesting that. But we can not only begin at a global African level if we don't begin at a country level. In Cameroon, we have almost 280 different dialects and tribes, where my mom's tribe cannot speak my father's language. They cannot understand each other. We only have to speak French, but we're all Cameroonian. So how do we begin to nationalize the language first, an indigenous language, and begin from there? Some countries have done that. In Togo, they've done that. They have many languages, but the government decided that this one language is going to be the official language that we all Togolese will speak. An indigenous cultural language that was imposed on the people because it's the majority language and everybody learned it. In Zimbabwe, they did it. The Shona is the most spoken language there. So some countries have done it. Other countries can follow along, find a main language where everybody can learn, and then start doing research in that. And then maybe when that is really well done, and then we can look at it from a universal African way and see which language can represent. I know there are individual differences. I don't want to say we're all one block. We own one person represent one thing. Different countries have different experience, and all of that will need to be considered. Even Europeans have that. You know, France, they have their own tribal problems that they're fixing. Spain with the Catalan issue. England, they have also their own dissidents there, but they're trying to bring them in line so we can manage things like that. So how do I come out of that and go back to the original? We dealt with this. Is it possible for somebody with my background to combat European assembly? Of course. The kind of work that you're doing now is giving you the tools and the necessary knowledge. Combating is not physical. The fight is not physical. The fight is informational, knowledge, education. That is the fight. So once, and that's not even necessarily something to combat. It's something to understand. That's who they are. Combating is just going to give you stress every day. And then it will be again an us versus them thing. It's something to be aware of. Then you can remove yourself out of the dominance when you understand it. When they approach you, you already understand they are silly. You already understand where they come from. You already understand who they are in essence, what they're expecting, what they're looking forward to. Because they are silly is control, power, dominate. Any European, even they know it or not, that is just how the Asili is. Yes, they built it, they constructed it, and then from the beginning of their culture, at the origin of the culture, they constructed it with the Plato and everything, and successfully imparted it to the generation of a generation to come. And then the future generation were born into it, not even thinking about how it all started, when it was actually built and created and constructed. So that will be the topic of this class. Oh. So, yeah. So how do I strategize, survive, and sustain the fight? Since everything is entrenched, we depend on their system economically, academically, and many other ways. We depend on the system. How do I strategize, survive, sustain? Again, The one answer is, what are you doing now? You're doing the right thing. Knowledge. That is your strategy. Because when they come, you already see them. You can already see them from afar. It is an assumption and everything. You must keep your assumption in brackets and everything, but at least you have that awareness, so you will not be shocked by whatever comes at you, because you have prepared yourself already, understanding where they're coming from, what they are silly made them to be. And then when they come at you, you will already, by the virtue of knowing that, you already have a strategy, because the strategy already like, okay, I know what all of this means, and this is how I would choose to interact with this person or with this situation, because I know the cultural context of this person and this situation. Knowing it and having chosen to be this, that would be now on you to decide what you've chosen to be. Now I can handle this situation very, very well. That is your strategy. You come this way, I already saw you from there. Like a puncher, Mayweather. You know already how the guy is going to attack you, and you already have the counter punch. So we're working on developing those counter punches, as your strategy. Truth and authenticity is usually the best strategy. And then that helps you survive, because it's something that is permanent. It's not like I already know it all and then I can just go sleep on my laurels. No. It's keep up with the flow and the fluctuations. Academically, okay. Everything is academically European based and all that, but also knowing that they have dismissed other form of knowledges, other form of civilization and cultures, because they actually wanted to put theirs at the dominant so they can control and everything. Knowing that, right, if I want to succeed in the West, I can use their weapons and the strategy and their ideology against themselves while remaining authentic. I am doing this knowing that I'm achieving this. I'm choosing to, like, you purposefully choose to study counseling and everything and obey the rules and everything and the BBS and everything from a Western academic, because that is how you will succeed and become a successful counselor, because you will meet all the requirements academically and the way the BBS requires you to. So you know that. But what now you are bringing, your strategy, your survival mechanism and everything, is what you're doing on the side of it, like what you and I are doing. That other thing that brings an extra to what you do, that human side that comes from the African, that emotional based therapy thing where you can open the heart, and accept the vulnerability and knowing that you're part of it, is another thing that you're bringing. So you are doing one way because you want to achieve and be in that state, but you also want to be genuine to who you are and who you choose to be and the value you live up to, in a way that you balance both, right? So that is a little bit of strategy.